AM. Its staff, management, or parent company, Clear Channel Communications Incorporated.
Welcome to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ, offering support for those who care for a loved one. A show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show. It's President's Day, and some of you may be home from work with your children or your family members, or maybe you just had the day off and you get to do something really nice for yourself. Well, I hope it is a good day for you. It's a good day for us here in Tampa Bay and here at the Caregiver Hour. If you have just tuned in for the first time, I want to let you know you've come to the right place. We have all the resources and information and guidance to help you through your caregiver journey, whether that's something short-term, long-term, whether that's something long distance or even close to you. We're here, and there are so many different caregivers all around the world, but we're so happy that you tune in from 11 a.m. till noon to listen to the show, but you also can listen to it on a podcast or an iHeartRadio. All of that is through our website called thecaregiverhour.com. Today's show is going to be really kind of one of those heartwarming shows where we don't have the doctor on, we don't have the elder law attorney, we don't have the financial planner. We have real people who have been in caregiving roles and have actually great stories to share with you. And these stories really are here to inspire you and to motivate you to really have a wonderful journey, because this is a special time in people's lives. And I know when taking care of my in-laws, how I struggled, how I really needed to take care of myself, but I was so resistant to doing that I ended up getting in hot water with my health and well-being. But, somehow I found a wonderful doctor who really helped me create the balance in my life. And, that's really my message to you, is helping you create balance in your life, to take care of your loved one, have the information, the resources, and the guidance, and have the expertise, get everything where you need to have it in your life, but then also take care of yourself. That's so, so important. And your loved one would want you to take care of yourself if they had the opportunity to tell you that. So please do that, because when you refuel, when you recharge, when you re-energize yourself, your spirit, your mind, and your body, you're able to give much better care to your loved one, much more focus, and be able to kind of come up with better wisdom inside you that can help guide you. And that's really why I have this show every week. And we have a helpline now also available for you, the caregiver. Isn't this great that someone, really not just me, but I have wonderful sponsors who help support my show being here for you every week. And the helpline is a toll-free number, and it's a caregiver resource helpline at 1-877-552-4950. And I'm so grateful that so many caregivers reach out for that helpline, but you can do that as well now. You can be part of this family of caregiving. And I'm so thrilled that you're listening or watching us today. We've got some great guests. We always love having Linda Burhan here. Linda is a caregiver advocate at Harmony Home Health, and she runs so many support groups, and all those support groups are listed on our website, www.thecaregiverhour.com. And I encourage you to attend, if not one of those support groups, at least connect with Linda, and she'll be on the show this morning, and you'll be able to hear some stories that she wants to share with us, and perhaps you can connect with her directly through our website. We have a link on our website, which is thecaregiverhour.com. But if you want to connect with us, you can right on our website. And they've got a link right there that you can then connect with them and then be able to share maybe a story that you have. Maybe you would like to call us today. You can call us toll free right now while the show is live and share your story with us. That's toll free at 1-877-897-8255. So the other piece that makes this interesting, that we have a new guest, and this new guest is an author of 3 Months A Caregiver Journey from Heartbreak to Healing. And this gentleman is Dietrich Stroeh. And Dietrich really became a caregiver for his wife very suddenly, and then took care of her for 3 months. But what I love about this journey is that it's a love story, because he must have loved his wife dearly, and he also did great caregiving, and he's got great tips for you as well. So we've got a lot going on the show today, and so we want you to stay tuned and stay with us. But again, if you have a story or a question or a tip, this is a great opportunity for you to reach out, and you can do that a few ways. One is call us toll-free while we're on the show at 1-877-897-8255, and we'll be happy to take your call. Or if you're watching the show on our website, you can do iChat, and you can instantly ask us a question, and then we can ask our guests and answer those questions for you. So we really want to be available for you and approachable. So I want to just say that before we have Linda come on, I want to let you know that I was watching Good Morning America this morning, and Kimberly Williams Paisley was on the show. And Kimberly is married to Brad Paisley. And she, maybe you saw her, she was in Father of the Bride 1 and 2, and then the sitcom Jim with Jim Belushi. She was the irritating sister-in-law. Well, Kimberly was on the show on Good Morning America today, and she shared with us not only her wonderful life that she has with her 2 sons and Brad Paisley, but also that her mother has a certain type of dementia. And it's finally coming out in the open. Her family has decided to really bring this to the public to help caregivers really understand that they're not alone, and that perhaps they can inspire you to also take care of yourself. Her mother has primary progressive aphasia, and that's a form of dementia. So there are so many forms of dementia, and this is just one of them. And what happened was, this family is that Kimberly and her sister and her father had decided to keep it a secret, to keep this whole diagnosis a secret. They did not want the public to know, and that was really their right for privacy. The mother had also asked for it not to be announced, and we're glad that they did honor her wishes. But it's gotten to a point now in her disease where they felt like they wanted to open up and share this with the public. Her mother has this form of dementia where, and I really want to say this because it's disturbing, but Kimberly really helped us understand this as well and had a great tip. Her mother has these outbursts sometimes where she screams as part of her dementia. And what Kimberly found out is that when her mother was loud, Kimberly would be loud, and then Kimberly would soften the tone. So it was very interesting how you, again, in the world of dementia, we always talk about going to the reality and going to where the person who has the dementia, go to where they are, instead of just immediately pulling them back to reality or where they should be, in quotations. This is Kimberly really making that effort to say, you know what, Mom, I hear you, I see you, I am right there with you. And she goes into that loud voice with her mother, the tone, the intensity and loudness, but then she's able to help her mother bring it back. And what a lovely tip, what a lovely story, because there could be caregivers who are right now at home with a loved one who want to, scream and run away when someone is screaming. Here, you're able to stay with them and help them really progress to more of a quiet tone, to calming down. Because what you're hearing on the outside is what they're feeling in the inside. So just imagine that loudness. So I thought Kimberly did a great job in the interview with Robin Roberts, but she's written a whole article in Redbook. So I can't wait to go out and get that article and that issue. So if you're going to be out today shopping around, I would definitely look for Redbook and get that article. Or maybe they have it online as well. I'm going to share a few more tips that Kimberly brought to fruition this morning during the end of the show. So if this is something that you have an interest in, again, we want you to call us toll-free at 1-877-897-8255. She had some great pointers, and you don't want to miss them. And again, the article is in Redbook. Before we have Linda come on today, I just want to let you know how grateful I am for my guests today. I love that we have Linda here in the studio from Harmony Home Health, and also Dietrich Stroeh. He is the author of 3 Months A Caregiving Journey, From Heartbreak to Healing. And, you know, that may resonate with you. You may be a caregiver who loves someone so dearly and maybe wants to write a book about it or a poem or just journal about it. This is a great way to be inspired. I just want to let you know that this next segment is being brought to you by Brookdale Grand Court of Tampa. And I was just there the other day. It's a fabulous retirement community. It's Grand Court of Tampa, offering both independent and assisted options on beautiful Bayshore Boulevard. For more information, call 1-866-562-7060 and tell them you heard about it on Kim on the Caregiver Hour radio show. We will be right back. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Injured in a car accident or suffering from back and joint pain for a while? Clearly, you need to see a doctor. Call Dr. Ben, a chiropractor with 25 years experience. He listens, he cares, he gets results. His common sense approach? Coaching patients to be self-sufficient and less doctor-dependent. Let's face it, there are many things you can do to improve your health. Call Dr. Ben at 727-488-8044. Mention the Caregiver Hour radio show for a free examination. 727-488-8044. Dr. Ben, your coach to better health. 727-488-8044.
Caring for an elderly parent or a loved one with special needs can be challenging, stressful, and frustrating. If you need help finding the best professionals in the field of home care, legal advice, integrated practitioners, respite care, or a great support group, call the Caregiver Helpline at 1-877-552-4950. That's 1-877-552-4950. It's a free service provided by the Caregiver Resource Network. Call 1-877-552-4950 or go to thecaregiverhour.com.
I'm Mike Lavoie with Beacon Asset Management. While 30 years of experience in financial services may have prepared me to be a certified financial planner, no amount of planning could have prepared me for the stress of being a caregiver. The financial planning my dad and I did when my mother became ill made caring for her bearable. At Beacon, we are committed to helping you take care of your financial needs so you can take care of your loved ones. Give us a call at 813-269-0732. 813-269-0732.
Caregivers, are you worried about mom or dad needing more care? How do you know when it's time to get help? Since 2004, Harmony Home Health has helped seniors in Tampa Bay find joy in their journey. You'd be amazed at how just a little bit of care can go a very long way. From just once in a while to every day of the week, your loved ones experience independence, safety, and dignity wherever they call home, and your whole family experiences harmony. With Harmony Home Health, you are not alone. You can trust their family to take care of yours. Call 727-723-7532 or visit their website at harmonyhh.com/Kim.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. Oh, my. It's President's Day, and I'm feeling great. And, Linda, I want to welcome you to the Caregiver Hour radio show.
Joyful and grateful to be here today.
Always you are.
Yes, I am.
You know, you've given me angels over the years, a few angels you have sent to me, and I have them all lined up at home. So I just want to let you know that I'm very grateful for the little gifts that you've given me in the cards. So, yeah, it's been really wonderful. I want to just shout out the toll-free number in case anyone wants to ask you a question or share a caregiver story with you. The toll-free number is 1-877-897-8255. Or if you're watching us, you can do iChat right now on the screen. So, Linda, tell me how you're doing today.
I'm just wonderful.
Good.
Absolutely wonderful. And the sun is shining today, and you can just feel like we're cleared up from some of that cold weather.
Yes. And some of those people are suffering around the world with the extreme weather, and we hope that they're safe and sound, and that some warm weather's coming their way as well. So tell us a little about you in case someone who is just tuning in today. So tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Linda Burhan. I'm a caregiver advocate with Harmony Home Health. I wrote a book a couple of years back called Good Night and God Bless about the last 18 months of my mother's life and how we didn't let the cancer kill us but strengthen our love. As a result of that, when I was out promoting the book, every time people would come up to me crying, saying, I think I need help with mom or dad or for myself. And I remember when I went through my caregiving journey with my mother, I felt like I was all alone. No one told me about any resources. They said, oh, she's a businesswoman. She knows. Yeah, about other stuff, but I didn't know about that.
Right.
So I decided, I'm going to be a caregiver advocate because I feel there's a gap here. And then shortly after that, I partnered up with Harmony Home Health. Jonathan Bowman called me and said, how can we work together, Linda?
Yeah.
So I'm delighted to be there and with the opportunities that I have now to help caregivers on a larger scale.
You really do. And Harmony, Jonathan's vision to do that was really brilliant. And I'm sure him and his team at Harmony really thought that through because you are reaching and touching so many people's lives. How many support groups do you have going now?
Oh, probably about 20 a month.
Okay, so that's a lot. So that's why people want to they can go to either my website, thecaregiverhour.com, and connect with you as one of our sponsors, or they can go directly to www.harmonyhh.com and see the list of support groups that you have.
And if I can mention, there's different kinds of support groups.
Yeah.
Some are just caregiver support groups. Some are for Alzheimer's and dementia. I have a new group that started last month called Caregiver Clubhouse, just for men.
Yeah. How's that going?
So, great.
Good.
It's interesting.
Good. We have a male caregiver on today, too, who's really going to enjoy that you have that. Because I think there's that lack as well, that a caregiver group just for them. So do you have a heartwarming story?
I do, and it happens to be about a male caregiver.
Okay.
A gentleman that was coming to my support group for quite a while was really suffering, had been married to his wife almost 60 years, and she was going deeper and deeper into Alzheimer's and starting to lose sight of him, and it was just heartbreaking for him, to the point where the facility she's in, she even had a boyfriend there.
Yeah, that happens.
And he said she would go there and she would hold his hand, and he could accept that. And you're a big man to be able to go there and accept that. And we were chatting, and he said to me one day, Linda, did you ever hear that song, King of the Road? And I was like, yeah. He said, well, when that song came out, my wife wrote a song called Queen of the House.
Love it.
They had 5 children. He said, and we were so young, we didn't realize that we didn't have it copyrighted, and they sent it to Nashville, and somebody else cut the record.
Wow.
And he said to me, if I could ever hear that song again, it just, it was about our family. So I'm searching. It took me about 3 months. Finally, I find it on eBay. And they sent me the perfect 45 record. And I had it made into a CD. And we had this all planned at the facility where she lived, because twice a month they would have dancing there. And it seemed when they had dancing, she would still connect with him. So we made a plan not to have the other gentleman there that day. And we invited some of her family members. And they're having their regular, party and everything. And all of a sudden, the DJ said, any requests? And, of course, our plant said, how about King of the Road?
Yeah.
They played King of the Road. Some people got it. Some people didn't. And then he said, any other requests? And this was from God. The caregiver said, I wish I could hear Queen of the House. And bang, the song came on.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, his wife was sitting next to him with her head down, and she raised her head slowly and stood up. And her children were there, and they said, that's your song, Mom. And she got up and she danced with him like they were just back to where they were before. And we had we took the 45 record and put it into a shadow box, and we had got photos of him and her around the age that she had made that record. And he was so proud to show everyone in the community, my wife wrote this song. And it was just joyful and heartbreaking at the same time.
Right.
And
for that whole family.
Oh, the whole family. There were a lot of tears in the room that day.
Yeah.
And finally he said, I really want you to meet my wife. Please come over and meet my wife. Her name was Juanita. And I went over, and she was just kind of like talking jibber-jabber. And then all of a sudden she just stopped and looked me straight in the eyes, and she said, thank you, I love you.
Wow, Linda.
And I was, whoa, just crumbling.
Oh, my gosh.
But the thing is, many times we forget that everyone has a story. Everyone has a life. And I find in a lot of my support groups, especially people that come and their loved one passes and they still continue to come back, is the biggest things they say is, I'm so sorry that I was so task-orientated during my caregiving journey. Instead of spending that time to sit down and talk and just share the love. I remember when I was taking care of my mom, and my mom had stage 4 colon cancer, and she was at my house one day, and I was in my office working, and when I walked into the room, my den, my mother was sitting there just staring at her very arthritic hands. And I said, Mom, what's up? And she said, I'm just looking at these old ugly hands. Now, normally I would have said, oh, Mom, those hands are just fine. Or, oh, Mom, here's some hand lotion. But knowing that my mom didn't have a lot of time, I sat down and I took her hands in my hands and I was like, Mom, besides how many dishes you told me these hands have washed and how many clothes, my mom didn't get a washing machine to the 4th child. I remember her washing those clothes in the sink and hanging them on the clothesline. I said, these hands have wiped my tears and combed my hair. These hands held my daughter and hold my grandchildren. I said, and these hands gave me a good whack on the fanny when I deserved it, Mama. I said, these are the best hands in the world. And my mother just looked at me and so softly said, thank you, Linda. And it was such a profound moment in my life where we could really share that love, share that feeling. And I'll never forget it. Every time I tell it, I still get goosebumps.
Well, it made you very present. And it made you, it helped her really feel so visible and acknowledged, Linda. That's a gift. And that's part of the beauty of you working with Harmony is that they really get it.
Right. They
get the need and they've picked the right person to give that message. And then for you to do what you did for that family was, it was spellbinding, actually, because that ended up touching the woman who wrote the song. So it was able to go all the way back. And what a gift you give every day.
Thank you.
But that was really very special.
But I just want caregivers to remember that. To take those moments. My mother knew I loved her.
Yeah.
She, I knew she loved me. But to sit down and take that time and really let her know. And what was it? 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
30
and having
seconds.
that moment. That one. Kimberly Williams Paisley was also talking about how her mother is at the point where she's kind of really connects very well with her little babies. She's very playful and goofy, and those babies just love it. So, they connect really well on that level. So that makes her feel good that her babies are getting to have a sense of who her mother is, even though her mother, they may not remember. She's seeing that, and it's very meaningful for her. Linda, we're going to have you come back at the end of the show. Thank you so much for sharing those stories. If you have a story you'd like to share with us, call us toll-free at 1-877-897-8255, or maybe you would like to talk to Linda about one of her many support groups in our area. This next segment is really being sponsored by North Tampa Behavioral Health. This is a great place if someone in your life has some mental illness that's going on or addiction. They are here for you. They are the mental health and addiction services. Please call them at 1-813-922-3300. Again, 813-922-3300. That's the North Tampa Behavioral Health. It's the right choice. I've been there too, and I've been there on a tour, and they've got great facilities for both young and old people. So I definitely recommend that you check them out. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. We have so much more coming up, so we want you to stay with us. Dietrich Stroeh is here, the author of a fabulous book about caregiving. Stay with us.
From the Tampa Bay Orthopedic Specialist Studios, this is 1250 WINS WHNZ Tampa Bay, an iHeart radio station.
Do you know someone who has been unable to work for the last 12 months due to injury or illness? Have you been considering filing for or recently been denied Social Security Disability or SSI benefits? If you answered yes, Montefiore Consulting can help. They specialize in helping individuals receive the Social Security Disability and SSI benefits they need. For more information, call 813-495-8787 or visit TampaBayHealthPros.com.
Hi, I'm Katrina Madewell, host of Tampa Home Talk, right here on 1250 WINS every Saturday at 4 p.m. I'm going to give you market-appropriate, timely information regarding homeownership matters because we want to make your everyday life better. Wherever you are in life, it's our mission to bring you good advice so you can maintain good credit, live within your means, and build wealth. My team and I are passionate about it. Love where you live, or I'll fix it. Tampa Home Talk on 1250 WINS every Saturday at 4.
Attention annuity owners, stop wasting thousands of dollars every year in fees. Do a tax-free exchange of your current annuity and save thousands every year. No commissions, no lockup periods, complete access to your money from day one. Go to NoCommissionAnnuity.com and see the difference. NoCommissionAnnuity.com.
Do you need windows and doors? Then you need to contact FAS Windows and Doors, Tampa Bay's premier window and door expert. Steve DeMig here. Folks, when you are shopping for windows and doors, go to the company that offers the largest variety of windows and doors to choose from in the Tampa Bay area with pricing to fit all budgets. Contact the good people at FAS Windows and Doors at 877-737-7173 or go to the web at faswd.com. That's faswd.com.
The Herbal Pharmacist Show is back and is better than ever. Tune in Tuesdays at noon on 1250 WINS WHNZ for a new format and better help for your health needs. It's the Herbal Pharmacist Show, Tuesdays at noon, right here on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Overtime questions? Call 1-800-MORGAN-LAW. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
This report brought to you by Hammermill Paper. When you want to look your best on paper, step up to the professional quality of Hammermill Color Copy Digital Paper. You'll get sharper images, brilliant colors, and professional-looking results. Hammermill Color Copy Digital is the difference between blending in and standing out.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, right now we're still seeing a crash with blockage in Pinellas County on Park Boulevard at 113th Street. Also, we're starting to see a little bit of slow traffic on 275 southbound from just beyond I-4 to about Howard and Armenia. Besides that, northbound traffic on 275 is up to speed. No delays on 75 or I-4 and no troubles to report on the Selman, Veterans, or Suncoast Parkway at this time. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
1250 WINS Weather Center forecast. Cool morning, giving way to a warmish afternoon. We'll see mid to lower 70s. Lots of sunshine this President's Day, and staying dry, low in the mid to lower 50s. We'll see upper 70s for tomorrow and pretty much the rest of the week. Going to stay sunny for the most part. End of the week, slight chance of showers on Friday and some cloud cover at 30%. 1250 WINS, WHNZ.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. If you just tuned in, today's segment is really about caregivers' heartwarming stories because caregivers have stories, and Linda Burhan from Harmony Home Health just shared a great 2 stories that she gave us. But, you know, she's right. Everyone has their own story, and it's a great time to honor that. So we're happy that you're tuning in today. If you missed part of the show, you can always go to the caregiverhour.com website and listen to a podcast, or you can watch us live now on live web stream, and there's archives for that as well. So we try to reach out to you. We've got a helpline also available 24/7 for caregivers if you're looking for a home health company, a hospital, a physician, a elder law attorney. We have it all for you in one place, and that's the Caregiver Helpline. That toll-free number is 1-877-552-4950. Please call us with your questions or concerns, and a caregiver coach will help guide you. So I want to also really welcome Dietrich Stroeh, who is author of 3 Months A Caregiving Journey from Heartbreak to Healing. He's in California, I believe. I know he's from California. I don't know if he's physically there, but we want to welcome him nonetheless to the Caregiver Hour radio show. Dietrich, how are you today?
I'm fine, Kim. I'm fine. And actually, I'm northern part of California, north of San Francisco.
Oh, that sounds nice. What's the weather like there today?
Actually, same as you have.
Really?
Sunshiny and
nice.
Not as warm, but it's warmer than normal.
Right. And did you have a nice weekend?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, good.
And I apologize for not being able to connect, but yes, it was a very nice weekend.
Well,
every day's a good day. Some is better than others.
That's true. But I figured you were busy, so I thought you were having probably a nice time. Well, we appreciate you calling in today and really sharing your story. So many caregivers do have a story, and there is such heartbreak, and we love when there's someone who can bring them to a place of healing. Can you tell us your story a bit?
Well, it turned in December of 2008. Margaret, my wife, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, stage 4, and actually, as most people know, pancreatic cancer, there's no real symptoms other than she felt full. And anyway, went to the doctor and started all the testing and process. And on the 22nd of December, we were in the emergency of the hospital, and she was. We were told at that point in time that she had a very large tumor on her pancreas and it had spread through her abdominal cavity. And it was such a shock and such a breaking down type of situation that we both hugged each other and cried, and we knew that she was in trouble, and we didn't know much more about it at that point. But she said something very interesting at that point. She said, I'm glad I'm the first one to go. We're in our 70s, and she was 70 at the time, and I'm 71. And anyway, it was a very trying period, and of course the whole 3 months was a trying period. But that started the journey, if you call it that, and then of course we got all the other information as of doing chemo and all of the good stuff that goes along with it. And then it got a little more complex, but because the cancer attacked her bowel and she couldn't eliminate, and they had to do a bypass, and then she got a staph infection. And the best of the 3 months was actually the last month.
Tell us about the last month then.
Well, she was in the hospital and coming out of a staph infection. She was cured of that, and we had the doctor there, and her children were there, her son and daughter, and we looked at each other, and I said, "Well, what do you want to do? You want to continue the chemo, or?" She said, "What do you think we should do?" I said, "Let's go home," and we did.
Okay.
And that was one of the best months of the three. The reason was that she was comfortable. She was happy, if you can be happy under circumstances.
Right.
She was on methadone, and she was stoned half the time, but which the heck, why not? And she loved to watch movies, loved to look at her flowers, and it was just kind of a wonderful time, if you can call it that.
Well, I bet you enjoyed that time.
We did.
Yeah,
We had a relationship that she had her life, I had my life, but we had our own lives together. And we loved traveling, we loved the gardening, we just did a lot of humor in our relationship. It was just a loving type of thing. It was good.
Well, I'm glad you had that relationship, and I'm so, of course, sorry for your loss, but I'm so grateful that you've also written a book. And, one of the questions you wanted me to ask you, what is the hardest thing to do for you about being a caregiver? And I think for, from other men to listen and hear what this answer is, what was the hardest thing for you?
Well, I think the hardest thing is what's going to happen next.
Okay.
I know that sounds screwy, but it's really kind of true. You're not quite sure. You're waiting. You don't know. Not knowing right stuff about this, how to take care of somebody.
Right.
I mean, people do, but you have to experience it, and every day is a different issue that comes up. Not a negative thing, but stuff that happens.
Yes.
And you just kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop, so to speak. But at the same time, we made that last month, well, in fact, all 3 months, we made it as comfortable for her as possible, and I think she appreciated that. We had a lot of humor that went on during that time between the two of us, which you wouldn't think so, but it was.
Well, I'm really glad and that you did that you wrote a book. And, tell us, now, what is life for you now?
Well, how I got started writing a book, didn't actually start writing a book. What I did in the evenings to get through the first part of an evening before going to sleep, I would write notes about what went on during the 3 months, and it could have been anything like how the cats react to her illness, to the humor that went on, to guests that came over, and so forth and so on. And then about 3 months into doing that, I said to myself, I wonder if I ever put this into a book and create a book that people can use to see that you're not alone. You can go through all this stuff, and I have a whole chapter in the book that's just waiting. So it's called Waiting. What's it like to wait in a hospital or wait in the doctor's office,
right?
And so forth and so on.
That's a really good one.
You get so used to reading all the employment things on a wall that
yes. It's true. Right.
But it was a funny way of going, and finally I said to myself, well, let's do a book. I had a good friend, Bill Mahar, who is actually a writer too, and so we collaborated. He had lost his father to cancer, and so this book is one that has this. There's a love story there, but also every other chapter is a primer on caregiving, or at least what I experienced.
That's great. So if someone wants to purchase the book, what's the best way for them to do that? Again, it's 3 months, A Caregiving Journey from Heartbreak to Healing. How long is the book?
How long is the book?
Yeah.
It only takes about 3 hours to read it.
Okay. So people have an idea.
I mean, you couldn't write a novel over something like this, but it's more or less a novel, and they can get it on Amazon. They can. I don't have the email.
That's okay.
But you can get it that way, and or you can email me, and I'll send them one.
Okay. Why don't we give them your information?
Okay. My email address is Dietz, DIETS, at CSWST2, like the number 2.com.
Okay, let's do it one more time.
That's Dietz, DIETS, at CSWST2, like the number 2.com.
Okay. If anyone missed that, you can always call us right now, toll free at 1-877-897-8255. Dietz said he would send you a book. What a nice gift. That's very kind. And you also can email me, Kim@thecaregiverhour.com, and I'll help you make that connection. What would you like, we've got about 2 more minutes, what would you like our listeners and viewers to walk away with as caregivers?
I think one of the biggest issues I found was hugging. Oh. It's okay to hug your neighbor. It's okay to hug during this time. It's okay to hug your friends. It's okay to hug your wife. Or it's okay to hug anyone. The reason I say that is it's just that mere gesture of doing that brings home itself, takes care of yourself that way. And the other thing is it's okay to laugh. You don't have to be somber about the whole thing. Just be normal. Be normal, totally normal with the individual or whoever's around you. And don't be afraid to reach out to people and tell them what's going on, because people want to know, but they're always afraid to ask you.
Yeah.
They're afraid you might get too maudlin or something. But as I said, Margaret and I had a lot of humor amongst ourselves, and I would tell those stories.
Well, it sounded like a lovely love story. I can't wait to read the book. And also, it sounded like you're very real. And that's, I think, what's going to help people connect to the story, but also maybe inspire them to either write down some notes like you did, or write a book or a poem or even a song. It can really inspire people to do some wonderful things.
I agree with you. That's writing stuff down helped me get through it. It took about 10 months before the pain and the emptiness went away.
Sure.
It happened. I just woke up one morning, got out of bed, and I said, "Geez, I feel different." I don't know.
Wow.
And it was gone.
So that's your own healing.
So, I mean, you do go through it.
Yes.
You do get through it.
Yep.
And I mean, you don't think so at the time.
Right.
I remember sitting there with my 2 friends. Were sitting there at one day that Margaret died, and I kept saying, "What do I do now?
Yeah.
What do I do now?"
Well, we're going to have you come.
Where I was going at that
I
point.
totally get what you just said, and we want to hear a little more about that. We're going to have a break, and then we will come back. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambaum, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambaumlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
I'm Mike Lavoie with Beacon Asset Management. While 30 years of experience in financial services may have prepared me to be a certified financial planner, no amount of planning could have prepared me for the stress of being a caregiver. The financial planning my dad and I did when my mother became ill made caring for her bearable. At Beacon, we are committed to helping you take care of your financial needs so you can take care of your loved ones. Give us a call at 813-269-0732. 813-269-0732.
Enjoy life at the Barrington, Largo's premier senior community. The Barrington, the resort lifestyle you deserve at a price you can afford. Life at the Barrington is truly senior living at ease, complete with chef-prepared meals, an activities director, and transportation to your favorite spots. Independent and assisted living homes are available now by calling the Barrington at 727-217-5681. Call the Barrington at 727-217-5681 to schedule your tour of their pet-friendly senior community today.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer.
Caring for an elderly parent or a loved one with special needs can be challenging, stressful, and frustrating. If you need help finding the best professionals in the field of home care, legal advice, integrated practitioners, respite care, or a great support group, call the Caregiver Helpline at 1-877-552-4950. That's 1-877-552-4950. It's a free service provided by the Caregiver Resource Network. Call 1-877-552-4950 or go to thecaregiverhour.com.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. I just want to say that this next segment is being brought to you by William Rambaum, who's a fabulous elder law attorney here in the Tampa Bay area. Again, if you want to connect with William Rambaum, I suggest you go to my website, thecaregiverhour.com, and click on sponsors, and he will definitely help you in any type of elder law matter. He has helped so many families, so many of our caregivers, but he's also helped us personally, my husband, myself, get all of our elder law paperwork all together. So we feel very we've done some good planning. That's what I can tell you. But he's guided us in a very good way, and he, Bill stays really in touch with other elder law attorneys. So if there's someone in your area that you're looking for, he can help refer you as well. I want to get back to the show because Deet was really telling us he was continuing his story. He's an author of the book, 3 Months, A Caregiving Journey from Heartbreak to Healing. So Deet, we have about 2 minutes. Did you want to finish that story that you were telling about your wife?
One of the stories that was kind of interesting about it, the whole interesting, I don't know what call it interesting, but what happened was that the day before 3 days before she died, I had wheeled her out in the wheelchair to look at her daffodils, and they were all blooming, and it was beautiful, and it was wonderful, and we were talking about how beautiful they were, and she was just smiling all over the place, and 3 days later she passed away, and I had walked out with those two friends that I was talking to. The one I said, I don't know what I'm going to do now, walked out into the front yard and looked at the daffodils, and they were all dead.
Oh, my.
And there's got to be something more around energy, whatever you want to call it, karma, whatever it is.
I call it energy.
It was quite amazing.
Yes.
And a couple other things when they were taking her out, the mortician taking her out, her favorite color was green, and the body bag was green. And the day of the memorial service, she loved rain. It hadn't rained for 2 months here in Northern California, if you could believe it. And the day that we had a memorial service, it was raining.
Wow. So many signals, right? Makes you believe?
It makes you believe in something.
Yep.
Whatever your beliefs are, it's there.
Well, we are thrilled that you are a guest on our show today. And again, why don't we give them your email address in case someone would like a book?
Well, it's Dietz, DIETS, at CSWST2, like the number 2.com.
That's wonderful. Dee, thank you so much. And perhaps we'll have you on again. I would love to hear how your journey continues, your healing journey.
Okay, thank you so much for
My
having
pleasure. What a pleasure to meet you. I want to let you know we have professional caregivers who also listen to the show. And there's been a change at the Largo Medical Center. The networking meeting with case managers is the third Wednesday at 11 a.m. in salons A and C, and lunch starts promptly at 11 a.m. I haven't been to this event yet, but I plan to go this month, so maybe I'll see you there on Wednesday. Again, it is the Largo Medical Center here in the Tampa Bay area in Largo, Florida. But if you want to RSVP, you can do that at 727-588-5788. And maybe I'll meet you there. The other piece that I have today is about the Pasco Kinship Care Support Groups. And these are relative caregivers. These are caregivers who become a caregiver in an instant. I know Linda Burhan knows all about that. And these can be grandparents, these can be aunts and uncles, or even adult siblings raising their kin, and there are support groups for them. If you are interested, I suggest that you get in touch with www.children'shome.org and see when their support groups are. They're throughout the month of February, but they're in all different locations, and I encourage you to visit. We've got one in Zephyr Hills, one in Newport Richey, and then another one in Newport Richey. So this might be your month to start going to a support group. And Linda, what do you think? Support groups, how do they help?
And kinship care are great. I used to go to those support groups.
That's great. And we're so thrilled that they're one of our sponsors. And I actually went to one of their events and was a sponsor at the event, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tell me about support groups. Why should people go to support groups?
Just to know that they're not alone. I think one of the great things that Dietz said a little while ago is how he got through a lot by writing. One of the kind of support groups I do is I do journaling workshops. And many people tell me that through the journaling workshops, it's something that we say around the Harmony office all the time, that they can find joy in the journey. Mm-hmm. And you can find the little funny moments.
Right.
And the moments of appreciation.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely on the same page.
Yep. That's great. We want to thank you so much for being our guest today. Dietrich Stroeh, author of 3 Months A Caregiving Journey, From Heartbreak to Healing, and Linda Burhan's caregiver advocate at Harmony Home Health. Their website is www.harmonyhh.com. But you can also get them from us to them through our website, thecaregiverhour.com. There's about 8 different ways that you can get to Harmony from my homepage, so we're hoping that you will do that. Again, I want to remind you, we've got this great resource helpline. It's 1-877-552-4950. It's available 24/7 if you have any kind of question about maybe a behavior that's going on with your loved one, or maybe the doctor said something and you don't understand what they meant, or maybe there's some mental illness happening for you. We have all the experts for you under one roof, and that is the Caregiver Resource Helpline. I've been talking earlier about Kimberly Williams Paisley, Linda, about how she was going through this caregiving journey. Now she's going through the caregiving journey for her mother, who has a type of dementia that I hadn't really heard about, and that's the primary progressive aphasia, and that's a form of dementia. She was also talking about how she had to, and this was really powerful because there was a lot of sadness around her seeing her mother's condition, and she said, what I had to do was say goodbye to the mother that I remembered and hello to the mother that I have now. And that made her feel so much better because she was able to really still have those memories, remember how her mother was, not lose her totally, but then to make the transition to be more in the present with her when she was with her rather than carrying all that sadness. And I'm sure Deet understands that as well. Like, we walk around with a lot of sadness as caregivers. So it's nice to be able to release that and be present and enjoy those special moments like you said. I really encourage you, and I cannot wait to read Diet's book, which sounds terrific, 3 Months A Caregiving Journey from Heartbreak to Healing. That might be a great book for you to bring to your male support group.
I'm definitely going to contact Diet after the program.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And then we also have the article that Kimberly Williams Paisley wrote, and I can't wait to read it because she really does talk about the caregiving journey and how music was important to her. Her mother loved the song You Are My Sunshine, and that would help make her feel connected to her mother again. And so she would sing that to her because Kim also sings. And, again, we are here for you 24/7, and we are grateful that you are tuning in today and that you maybe will tune in every Monday to be with us. We are now on the show is also on Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and I've listened to it and it's a great show. So if you missed it today, you can hear it again another time right here on 1250 WINS WHNZ. For caregivers, you also want to, just stay connected to taking care of yourself. And that was another topic that Kimberly talked about, was how her father was withering away. He was taking care of his wife so devotedly that he did not take care of himself. And they finally had to put her into a facility so that he could get the care that he needed as well as her mother. So that's a life lesson for all of us. So again, if you are a caregiver, you are welcome to call us on the helpline. It's 1-877-552-4950. So many caregivers have called me, and then I call you back. And if I don't connect with you, I call you back again because I understand that you're very busy. But I'm also very persistent, and I love what I do. This is my mission. My passion is to help empower caregivers. Again, we hope that you have a wonderful week. Maybe do something special for yourself. Maybe plant some daffodils now that it's getting warmer out in honor of someone, or roses, or read a great story like that Deet has, or even go to a support group that Linda is in charge of. I recommend you go. Even if you don't say one word, you can sit there and just listen to the other people speak. It's all there for you. You're so fortunate to be here. We also want to thank Dr. Ben, who has offered a free evaluation as a chiropractor. His number is 727-488-8044. Take advantage of these beautiful offers that people are giving to you for free. They want to support you, the caregiver. Again, Dr. Ben is a fabulous chiropractor at 727-488-8044. Have a beautiful day and stay in touch.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made